Hello and welcome back to another video for Final Fantasy XIV. Today we're looking at a new hairstyle added in patch 6.51. Let's not get bogged down in too many of the details and gossip. Essentially, you can get this from Trisant, the guild ship exchange for the new variant mode. You need to go and get yourself the actual potsherds from the chest within the new Aloha Island variant mode. You can find the exchange here on this vendor. If you're unfamiliar with where this is over at the Hairstyle, which is next to the Scholar's Harbour in Old Sharlayan. You will need to have, for the hairstyle, obviously 6 of these potsherds, which essentially means if you get 3 per run, let's say on an average run of Aloha Island, depending on what run you do, you might get more. That's essentially 2 runs of the variant mode, which if you've seen the other video guide that I'll link in the description for all 12 routes, you'll have plenty of potsherds, more than enough to get the bold and the braid. It says the realm's premier publication on beauty and fashion. This specific copy of modern aesthetics covers in detail techniques for braiding unruly locks into line, while allowing others to flow free in defiance of expectation. So of course, if you know anything about Durante and the recent MSQ, then you'll be very familiar with this hairstyle. We've already purchased this, so let's go and have a look at that on first my character, and then we're going to also purchase this multiple times and look at on my alts and some other characters as well. Alright, here we are in the Esthetition, and let's look at this new hairstyle together. So, it's right at the bottom, and this is the bold and the braid. So if we zoom out a little bit, you can get a good idea of the length of the hairstyle as well. We're going to look at other races in just a second on my alts and a few other characters as well. But essentially, we've got braids on the right side, pinned back obviously by those bands. It doesn't seem to affect my character's ears too bad. It doesn't make them look a little out of place, which has unfortunately happened with some Viera hairstyles before. I'll be very keen to see what it looks like on a Viera. The hair itself is a beautiful length. This is a perfect length. I would love to have just the length of this without the braids personally. If it was just all like this, I know it would be a completely different hairstyle, but I would love that. It's the perfect length that I like in terms of hairstyles. If I saw my character just from that side, I'd be super happy. But I'm not a big fan of braids personally, so this is not one I will personally be using beyond this video, most likely. Of course, with the braids, it's worth looking at the hair color and what different highlights we get on these. So this is obviously the highlight color on the left side here, and this is the base color. Let's make the base color black, and then we can definitely see any highlights. So if you're wondering how these blend in, there are no highlights on the left side of your character's head, only on the right side with the braids themselves. And of course, they are going to look great in a variety of different colors, hopefully colors that match or complement the other color that you have there. But we've got this lovely fade on the back here, just behind the ear. So actually not bad. It would be really cool in the future if we had the ability to change the color of the bands holding those braids in. We have a lot of accessories in other hairstyles that would also be really cool to change the color of, you know, like the scrunchies and whatever you want to call them, and bands, and you know, it would just be nice, wouldn't it, to have that option. But yeah, I'm quite happy with this. I know a lot of people are very happy with this. I've seen a lot of people with this, and it sells for around 200,000 gil on my server. I've seen it as low as 150,000 gil on the market board, this hairstyle, and I can see why. It is very popular and isn't too difficult to obtain. Right, let's go and have a look at other characters. I think that would be the next step. Okay, so when it comes to Viera, this is my female Viera alt, and this is what it looks like on this character. I have to say, this probably looks a lot better on the Viera than it does my own character, which is not really that surprising. It's nice though that Viera get included in this. There are so many hairstyles in the past that have come out that have not had the ability to translate to the newer models. So it is nice to see this, and it looks really good. I really like the way that the braids fit on the character. It's more fitting in my opinion. I do like the length as well, as we've said before, but it really suits my alt here. I can see why a lot of people love this hairstyle, and it doesn't look like the ears are just plonked on, which is nice. Sometimes we have these strange seams that appear at the top of the hairstyle where the ears meet. Those do not appear to be the case this time. I actually really like that. That looks really good on my character. Nice. All right, here we are on my Lalafell alt. This is an important one to see how the different types of ears fit, and we've learnt it once again, so that's what it looks like. Actually, yeah, it looks pretty good. Actually, with the more, traditional ears, it fits really, really well, as you would probably imagine. Let's get some light on that as well. I will say that the braids are pretty low res when you get close to them. I'm really looking forward to the graphical update in 7.0, where we're going to see a lot less of this. I think for the most part, they've got things set in motion. They've got these things ready. It'll be interesting to see what hairstyles get updated, though, and which ones probably don't. I would like to think the newer hairstyles added to the game would be the first to see that graphical change. Otherwise, the character models are going to be massively improved from this. And then you're going to have these really weird looking older hairstyles. So hopefully they go across the board and make it so that these look as good as you'd want to. Because from a distance, this looks fine. But up close, you can really tell. So I'm super excited for Dawntrail, just specifically for those changes. Yeah, it looks really good on a Lalafell, so let's move on to another character. All right, here we are on my Aura alt. I really, really love this character. I tried to make 02 from Darling in the Franxx, which was semi-successful. I needed Kotobelpuss horns to really finish it off. But this is what the new hairstyle looks like on an Aura then, because I was very interested to see how the horns would work. It looks absolutely brilliant, doesn't it? Again, much lower texture quality than we would love to see, which will hopefully get fixed in the future. The horns don't look too joined in. It doesn't clip too badly, so this hairstyle is going to look lovely. And on the right side, we have an even better situation with the fact that the horns aren't clipping at all, and there's even a contour for the ear to go around that, which makes it look better, in my opinion. There you go, in a bit more light from that direction. Yeah, I really think this looks great on an Aura. Really, really cool. Obviously, different horns might clip differently, but that's the traditional sort of, result anyway. And this is what the Bold and the Braid looks like on a Hrothgar. Now, the first thing to notice is that Hrothgars are built slightly differently. And as a result of that, a lot of hairstyles, including this one, has a hole kind of sort of drilled in the hairstyle itself. Which kind of looks like fur is trying to come through hair. It's a bit of a strange thing. Some people love that and absolutely accept that. There are lots of hairstyles I personally think would have done a lot better if they had been designed a bit differently, maybe to be more fluid or maybe just to pop through. Obviously, where a normal characters like a Hyur or somebody else would probably have their ears at the side of the head, there is still going to be a little bit of a gap, but they've done their best, I think. I don't know how else they would have done this. It's nice that they were included in the first place. The right side is less of an issue as long as you don't look too closely at the braids. The braids, in my opinion, could have been done a little bit better. Again, the braids seem to be underneath this layer of fur that's overlapping on top of the braids itself. I don't know how you would do that or how you would braid something under the ear, because as you can see, the braid is clearly going under and through the ear there, which a lot of people might question, including myself. But again, suspension of disbelief, at least Hrothgar get the ability to wear the hairstyle. It fits on the back of a character, it flows a little bit differently. Instead of going straight down, obviously it's matching the contour of your back, so there was some thought put into this, kind of like has a hair shelf if you're into that. So yeah, but to be fair, a lot of Hrothgar hairstyles are very similar, so it's very difficult to pull off a bestial type race when it comes to Final Fantasy XIV's character creation, and hopefully they can address some of these issues when they announce and hopefully bring out female Hrothgar, hopefully before the 7.0 update. That would be nice, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm really nitpicking when I'm looking close at it. I think they're awesome. I just think that they could have probably designed that slightly differently, although I'm not sure how I would have done it. It probably would have taken a lot more resources to remove those two braids or make it look like they're bent around the ear. That probably would have made it a little bit more believable. But again, this is a fantasy game, so what is and isn't believable is nonsensical. Anyway, all right, here we are finally on my humanoid model, my Hyur, obviously. And I thought it would be a good place to wrap this up. This was the character I created to try and make Jill Warwick from Final Fantasy 16. And I think you'll find it looks pretty good. I do like the length of this hairstyle. I think it really complements any character, both male and female. They look great. And yeah, that's how it sits, or how it's designed to sit with a humanoid head. Really cool stuff. I'm quite pleased with this hairstyle. It's definitely one of their better iterations. I do like the quality of it, and I can't wait to see what improvements come in the future, especially in the 7.0 graphical update. Hopefully they do, like I say, address a lot of the hairstyles that they've added more recently in this expansion and backdate a lot of that. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I really can't wait to see what things look like. But definitely go out and get this one if you can get it cheaply. And if you can't get it from a market board cheaply, then of course definitely try out doing all 12 routes of the new variant mode. You'll get enough pot sherds to get this and many other items very easily. And obviously if you do all 12 different runs of a variant, you'll get yourself a really cool mount as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. More videos on the way, hopefully to scratch the itch. And if I didn't look at the race that you were looking for specifically, I do apologize. But again, you know, I think I covered the majority of differences that we could expect. So much love, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.